So there's never really a step-by-step process to collapsing down these really detailed box pleated models. There are a couple of things which help. You want to pre-crease any features that happen kind of in the center of the model, and then once those are creased, you want to start from the edge, kind of work toward the center. Now what I'm doing here, this line where the tips of the fingers happen, every two, I'm going to fold from the tip of the finger a mountain fold that extends back along the model. So it's going to look like this for the time being. And these lines that go up into the wing here, find the apex of this wing and put a mountain fold into the corner there. Then use that to start to collapse the wing down. So that's what we're doing now. We have the ribs pre-folded. We have the head, which is pretty difficult. It would be difficult to go in later and try to do that part of the model. Collapsed right now. And now we're sort of attacking the crease pattern from the edges in. So again, we're turning this valley fold into a mountain fold in between the fingertips, beyond the halfway point on the hands. This is the nose of the paper, or along the top edge here. Okay, it collapses down simply along this V shape now that you have everything aligned here. Like so. Just always make sure that you're folding along existing creases. And again, I want to show you, in between these two, where the tip of the finger is, you're making mountain folds that extend back to the end of the model. We'll fix that up later. Now if we look at the other side, again, start with the top corner, which is the bottom jaw, all the way out to the edge of the wing. Do that diagonal fold that goes through one box here. Collapse that down. Get the next one. And then it begins to do a diagonal line that comes down like this. Then take that crease, go down all the way to where the finger starts. That. Go down to the second pleat. And then this is the webbing in between the fingers here. Make a valley fold all the way to the end of the model, and then pop the bottle back up in a mountain fold where the tip of the next finger is. All the all the vertical and horizontal creases are already folded in the direction they need to be going. You find this top of this V shape here. Again, you're folding one flap, two panels over that point, with a mountain fold going into that corner, like this. Okay. And find that other finger tip. Make this a mountain fold. With one caveat, obviously you're reassigning this mountain fold behind here, but everything else in the crease pattern is already facing the direction it should be, or it's already folded in the direction it should be going in as far as the vertical and horizontal creases. And when the models collapse, that will be true for every crease. These ones that we're reassigning now will become mountain and valleys as they were folded in the pre-creasing, just not yet. Okay, now that's the hard part's done. Now we just need to fold this V shape here. Which is pretty easy. And then this kind of hinges back like that. Alright, now let's move on. Okie dokie now. The model's lying a little uncomfortably because of these weird pleats that we added to the side. You're going to open these out, and then with the rest of the model collapsed like this, you're going to kind of, as best as you can, fold a line across here, similar to how we made the ribs. You're going to start to collapse down these fingers. This time, straightening out these pleats in the position that they're meant to lie in. Mountain after valley after mountain fold. And as you make these points, similar to how the ribs were, just lie them down on top of one another. The difference being that these points are 2 boxes long, where the ribs were 3. Okay, and you're just working these pleats all the way from the end of the model up, and working carefully to make these diagonal creases sharp as possible. After we get these two, the bottom of these 2 arms done, the model's pretty much going to be half done. And the rest of it collapses down fairly easily. When you get all of the fingers collapsed, you want to bring this diagonal line to where the end of the neck happens. Don't worry about the ribs right now. Once you get some length on this arm here, what you're going to do is fold those together. Okay, let me show you that one more time. You have to bring all the fingers together, and once they're together, press them down flat, and then fold them all together. Fold this entire arm in half along a valley fold. Now you'll be able to bring out this pleat, and half the model will lie flat. As you bring this diagonal crease down, where it meets the end of the neck. Do that on the other side. Work out these creases here, returning these to the natural mountain valley variation on the pleats. Collapsing these down similarly to how we did the ribs. I'm a big fan of Nintendo games. My favorite kind of game is the old school platformer, which is why I chose Ridley as a subject for an origami model. And as it happens, right as I'm releasing this video, Nintendo just released a game with all the NES classic games, and the original Metroid is included in that set, which is kind of my inspiration for creating a Ridley model. And like I said, he also appears more recently, probably in most people's video game library who are contemporary players, as an antagonist in one of the levels on Smash Brothers Wii U. Very different looking creatures in both of those games. It's not until the SNES version that he starts to have the appearance that he does in the model I'm creating now, which is what I used to design this model. Okay, so now we've collapsed both sides, and you can press all this down and kind of get a sense at least of what the front portion of Ridley is going to look like here, or what length of flaps we're going to have available to us to crease. Starting to look like a real origami model now. Alright, let's move on. I'm going to take the model and open it up like this. These are going to kind of lock the top of the model together for you, and it might be easier to kind of fold like this along where the ribs are, how we did in the beginning. And fold all this out. Okay. At the same time you're collapsing down these ribs, you want to find the top of, where's my crease pattern? This point here. And you want to find this crease that's right above that. So here's the top of that point right there. Go to the next crease right above that. Should already be a mountain fold. You're going to carefully that, and now the crease that's where the top of this angle touches is going to be a valley fold. So fold that over along the length of the paper. Okay. Again, top of the angle right in between where the tail meets the leg, that's a valley fold, and then the crease right above that is a mountain fold. Fold that down. Now, where this mountain fold is, go 1, 2, up. Make that a mountain fold. So there's 3 squares in between this mountain and that mountain. And then the crease right below that, valley fold. I believe on this one you are alternating the original crease that was added to that. Okay. And what you should have is a flap right here. It's folded down, and then above that, one that's folded down. When you fold it flat, you should just see one box right here. Let's look at it from the side here. Okay, this is what it looks like from the side. And as you collapse the ribs down, you're also going to refold all of this, but include these. Okay? But while we do that, we also have to recollapse the ribs. So come back here to this position and find the ribs. Start to collapse those down, just like we did at the beginning of the video. Only this time all of the creases are there, so it should be easier. Okay. Making sure to gather up all these pleats in this section here. This section of the collapsing is a little bit awkward, sorry about that, but there's not really a more convenient way to put that together. We start from the other side too. Make sure these get folded down like that. From the other side, they're pointed up. Obviously on the back, they're pointed down. This flap is out like that. This might be one of the trickier parts of collapsing the model down. It might not seem like it's going to want to go, but once you get about halfway through, we're going to point the ribs a different direction, and it's going to go a lot more smoothly. When you first start this, it's a little bit awkward. Alright, back to the other side here. Start attacking it from this side. And we need to get it to a point where we can pinch together all of the ribs. There we go. That on that side. Looking good. On this side, come back over here.